Ho, everybody. Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. It is December 24th, and this, of course, is the weekend video. We'll take a look at what happened last week, this last week leading up to the holidays, and then we'll take a look ahead. See what we got coming down the pipe here for this coming shortened and low volume trading week. So let's get down to it. Okay, so let's start out as we always do. We'll take a look at what happened last week in the market. Friday was the big day. We got that PCE price index data year over year. It was weaker than expected, and that just another confirmation that inflation continues to slowly come down, and there's still at least a hope for at least 3 rate cuts, and even starting in March, looking for a rate cut. So that's obviously continuing to drive this market higher, and there's always this chase for end-of-year performance. This has been a really unloved rally, and I think a lot of the fund managers have not done well, so they're racing to make their books look good before the end of the year here. So driving the market higher. You can see here all the indexes again making highs on another week of strong trading for the bulls, and some of our sectors that did pretty well here: communication services, basic materials. Biggest gainers on the week. Utilities was the weakest, which is sort of a safety trade anyway. Treasury, the 2-year came down a little bit, not surprising with people thinking rate cuts are coming. 10-year was really unchanged, and the US dollar, of course, weakened up a little bit on the slightly lower Treasury yields. Bitcoin was higher this week. It came up near 45,000 or 44,000 again. From last week, a little bit of a pullback there. So that's how the week looked in review. And before we get going here, as always, I like to do a quick plug for my books on Amazon. Here's 2 of them here: How to Swing Trade, Rules, Routines, and Strategies of a Swing Trader. And my newest book, which just came out a week or so ago, is How to Trade Options. It's if you're interested in options, it's a complete guide to options trading. So it starts from the basics and it goes from there into some strategies that I use to trade options. So that's now available on Amazon as well if you want to check it out. So let's start looking at some charts. Get that out of the way, and here we go. So you can see here we lost a little bit more altitude on the 2-year on this anticipation of some rate cuts that are coming in the new year. And you can see here really rolling over on all the momentum indicators as the 2-year continues to drift lower. The same with the 10-year. We've really had a pullback from the high. And as you know, I've got a trade on TLT. If you've been watching my videos, it's essentially a long trade, but it's using options, and I've actually used options to short TLT as well, and I can discuss that a little bit later in the video here. The transports, another decent day, gapped up, kind of indecision candle for the Friday, although it was a Friday going into a long weekend holiday, so not surprising we had a little bit of an indecision candle there. But again, the transports looking like they're going to push higher here to a retest that high. The Dow, here we are again, bit of an indecision day Friday, but trend is your friend, and this has been a really roaring rally here from the beginning of November. Really pushing the market higher, and you can see there on the weekly as well, just breaking out to new highs there on the Dow. Although on the week, really low volume week, but again, not surprising going into a long weekend holiday at the end of the year here. The Qs, again, bit of an indecision candle on Friday, but closed pretty close to the high. Again, really nice move up for the last month or so, and new high here, and we'll see what happens next week. But again, you don't want to fight this trend, although it could be a little bit more of a muted week next week. I don't see any big pullbacks, but there may not be some huge substantial gains either. The SPY, kind of the same story. Indecision candle on Friday, move higher on the week overall. Momentum indicators, volume not too bad. Momentum indicators still looking positive. We are pretty overbought on the stochastics, but RSI is still trending up here on the weekly. So could be a continuation rally move here. IWM, probably the best performer of the bunch in terms of the indexes. Small caps really pushing higher here in the last month or so, and you can see here we broke out. This was a pretty important level here, 3 tests, and then the 4th one on last week, and then we broke out. We broke out this week. So here's your next level of resistance, right around this 205 level. But all the momentum indicators, volume's really been building here. All the momentum indicators looking like we're going to continue to move higher here as we move towards some possible rate cuts. And the VIX still pretty low here, even on the daily. And the UUP, the dollar, I mean, the dollar has really rolled over here. And of course, that's sort of a function of interest rates. And you can see here, again, UUP down, retesting this prior level of resistance, which is now likely going to become support. And Bitcoin, let's see where Bitcoin is right now. Bitcoin's sort of hanging around under 44,000. It's trying to get above it here a couple times, but couldn't do it. So we're just waiting for this Bitcoin ETF. Understand BlackRock met with the SEC last week talking about it, so it's probably going to be going to get done. But the question is, will it be a sell the news event? Because everybody's talking about this idea that once that we've been ramping up into this event, what's going to happen when it actually occurs? Because everybody's anticipating it. Will it get sold off? Or at the very least, we'll get a bit of a pullback as people take profits after this big run up. So we'll see what happens. So let's take a look at stuff I'm going to be watching next week. Apple's had some little bit of challenge here, almost got to 200 again. And then they came out with this announcement that they were pulling their watch off because of some patent issues. And it's really been struggling, and here's your level that it looks like it might want to go to here somewhere. This was prior resistance, and then as we broke through it, and then they checked back then it became support. Now we went higher, and then this news came out, and we've been rolling over. So I'm watching for this. This is kind of a critical level here around this 192 level, and if it breaks that, we could be down into under 190. So possible place to sell some puts if you wanted to get long Apple for the long term, and sold some puts, and then if they got assigned to you, at least you'd own them at a lower price. So possible trade there. AMD has really been banging its head along this 140 level. Hasn't been able to. Did it close above it here? Yeah, it actually did close above it here at one point, but it's had this monster run after earnings, and now it's really just consolidating. It looks like it really wants to. They want to break it out there, so we'll be watching that 140 level to see if we break higher. Amazon sort of making a bit of a pennant here. Again, looks like it wants to go higher as well into the new year. FedEx was a trade that I did last week. I put on last week. Really poor earnings and some not great guidance, but seem to be holding this 245 level. So I actually am short some puts, some 245 puts, and just a few of them. And I'll look at it on Monday to see if I want to buy some protection here by buying some puts further down, or maybe taking some profits, because it's looks like it's going to hold that 245 level, and that's one of my strategies. Wait for a stock to overreact to something, and then buy the low. So that's what I've done with FedEx. GDX I got back in about a week or so ago, and I think gold is going to go higher. You can see here we had a big pullback. I had it here, I sold it, and then it pulled back significantly. I bought back into it, and we've had a nice run up since. So that's where we are with gold. It looks like it wants to go higher. Meta had a really good week here. I think it's getting a little extended on the daily chart, but and it does look like it's kind of topping out here for the time being. But again, Meta probably strong in the long run, going higher. Nike, here's another one I'll look at. I haven't done anything with yet. I'll wait on Monday, or I should say Tuesday, see what it does. If it continues to go lower or if it starts to make a higher low, then possible trade here on Nike. Same thing as I did with FedEx, sell some downside puts to to create essentially a long position and collect some premium. Oracle, this was a one I did as well. You can see here, nice move back up after it had that negative reaction, overreaction, and TLT. So I've sold the 102. I've sold these 102 calls, which is essentially a bit of a bet that that TLT is kind of topping out here. I've had this big run up on this news and then the rate cut anticipation, but I kind of feel like we're topping out here a little bit. So I sold the 102s. They are going to expire third week in January. They're monthlies. So, and I'm still short the 85 puts, which also expire January. And you can see here those are basically. I might even cover some of them. I've already actually covered some of them. I might cover the rest of them because they're so far out of the money and they're trading at essentially nothing right now. TNA, really nice move. That was the IWM. And we've been long that for a while, myself and Andrew, so still holding some. Tesla's sort of trading in a range here. This is 260 to 245-ish area. So again, we'll see what happens next week, but I'd be watching for a break of one of those levels to get long or short, and I'm not sure which yet. So that's it, everybody. That's kind of the wrap for what I'm watching next week. Okay, so let's wrap things up here and take a look at what we've got coming up this week. Shortened trading week. We will be picking it up again on the 26th. There's your levels, various levels right now on the Q SPY, Dow and IWM, support and resistance levels. Really not a lot of stuff going on, although there is some economic events that are coming out, nothing too earth-shattering, but we'll see what the jobless claims look like on Thursday. And then earnings for this next coming week, nothing really of note. Of course, Monday, the holiday, and nothing notable for the remainder of the week. So that's it, everybody. Hope you have a great holiday weekend here, and we will see you in the Bear Bull Trading Room on the 26th, Boxing Day. And we'll get down to it with the pre-market show at 8 o'clock and then trade the market open. And again, should be a low volume trading week, but odds are for the bulls to keep moving this market higher. So we'll see what happens. Have a Merry Christmas if you're celebrating that, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday morning. Bye for now.